We're gonna go see if we can find some bears.
Big back there, and then there's a bucket that comes down over the back of it, and that's what.
And there's one brown bear with two.
If it's black in the water, it's a salmon. These fish are almost at their spawning ground, just a little bit further upriver. Sitting on the rock like a dog would. bears can be enough of a problem that our guide carries a shotgun, both slugs and buckshot.
Yeah, that's good. Profile will be pretty good against that light water. Yeah, right there.
This is called Tribal House, built in 1939. It's on a small island in the harbor at Wrangell, Alaska. This is the large totem that's at the end of the bridge. This totem is called the Undersea Bear. It has an interesting story, I guess, because I'm unable to tell you. No Tlingit chief or shaman or any member of the tribe who may know the story will talk about it. I simply refuse to reveal any information whatsoever about the background of this totem and what the meaning is. We're boarding the ferry at Wrangell. We're on the final leg of our tour, going to Prince Rupert. As you can see, the cafeteria on the ship, the ferry, is very well stocked. Coming into Prince Rupert very early in the morning, about 4:30. Prince Rupert, downtown. Good Benji, patiently waiting. Here were this engine used?
This was 1925 already.
1925.
Yeah.
Okay. We're headed south in British Columbia, and I was surprised to find a very modern one-lane bridge. Usually when they're this modern, they just go ahead with a two-lane, if nothing else, for future generations. We're in the city of Houston, not Texas now, but British Columbia, where they claim to have the largest fly fishing rod in the world. And sure enough, there it is. I was pretty impressed with the amount of logs piled up here. This is obviously a sawmill. Then we have the finished product. I'm in British Columbia, where the mountain pine beetle is taking out the lodgepole pine forests. In the background you can see the green forest unyet affected. We're in Lytton, British Columbia, where two rivers come together. One of them very muddy and one of them very dark. In Brazil, the Amazon is created out of two similar type rivers, one muddy and one very dark. They make quite a big deal out of it in Brazil. This ferry doesn't use any power. By angling itself into the flow of the current and being held by the cable strung across the river, the current simply pushes it from side to side. This is the Hell's Gate Air Tram, the steepest tram in the world. It crosses over a gorge in the Fraser River. More water travels through this gorge than over the Niagara Falls, according to the sign here. The tram will end up at the red building down at the bottom. It should be in the middle of your picture. Standard tourist trap down there, cafe, and fudge. Fudge seems to be everywhere up here.